Picture this. You arrive at the airport early in the morning. Your flight leaves in just under an hour. The terminal is busy. Rolling suitcases echo across the floor, and the departure screens glow with dozens of destinations. You join the security line. Everything seems normal. Passport, boarding pass, carry-on bag. Just another routine airport experience. Until suddenly, your bag stops inside the X-ray scanner. The conveyor belt pauses, and a security officer raises their hand. Bag check. They slowly open your carry-on. Inside is something you've traveled with many times before, but today, it's no longer allowed. And just like that, your smooth journey turns into a stressful moment in front of everyone in line. Situations like this happen every single day in airports around the world. And in 2026, carry-on rules are becoming even more important for travelers to understand. Because what you pack in your bag can determine whether you board your flight or watch it leave without you. Part 1. Why carry-on rules exist every day. Millions of passengers travel through airports across the world, and every one of them passes through security. In the United States, that responsibility belongs to the Transportation Security Administration. Their job is simple in theory: prevent dangerous items from entering aircraft cabins. But in practice, it's far more complicated, because travelers bring millions of different items onto planes every day, from electronics and cosmetics to souvenirs and personal belongings. Some are harmless, some are suspicious, and some can actually be dangerous in the environment of an aircraft. So security agencies constantly update their rules to keep flights safe, especially when new technologies and devices become common. And that's exactly why carry-on regulations continue evolving in 2026. Part 2. The carry-on size trap. Let's start with one of the most common mistakes travelers make: the size of their carry-on bag. Many people assume that if their suitcase looks small enough, it will automatically be allowed on board. But airlines operate under very specific size limits, and those limits exist for a reason. The overhead compartments inside aircraft cabins have limited space. If bags are too large, boarding becomes chaotic. Flights get delayed, and passengers fight for space above their seats. Which is why airlines enforce strict carry-on dimensions. Major airlines like Delta Airlines, United Airlines, American Airlines all have similar limits. Most follow a maximum size of roughly 22 by 14 by 9 inches. But here's the catch. That measurement includes handles and wheels, so even a slightly oversized bag can cause problems at the gate. And when that happens, passengers are forced to check their bag at the last minute, sometimes for a fee, sometimes for free. But either way, it's a delay nobody wants before boarding a flight. Part 3. The liquid rule. Everyone hates. Now let's talk about the rule that almost every traveler has struggled with: the liquid restriction. Security agencies introduced this rule after authorities uncovered a dangerous plot involving liquid explosives. Since then, airports worldwide enforce a strict system. It's known as the 311 rule. That means liquids must be in containers of 3.4 ounces, 100 milliliters, or less. All containers must fit inside one clear plastic bag, and each passenger can only carry one bag of liquids. Simple, right? Not exactly, because travelers often forget how many everyday items count as liquids. Shampoo, toothpaste, perfume, makeup, sunscreen, even peanut butter. Yes, peanut butter. At airport security, anything that behaves like a liquid or gel is treated the same way. And when containers exceed the allowed limit, security officers have no choice but to confiscate them, even if the bottle is brand new, even if it's expensive, even if you insist you didn't know the rule. Part 4. Lithium batteries and power banks. In recent years, a new category of carry-on rules has become increasingly important: lithium batteries. Modern travelers carry multiple devices powered by these batteries: smartphones, laptops, cameras, wireless headphones, portable chargers. But lithium batteries have a dangerous characteristic. If they are damaged or short-circuited, they can overheat and ignite. Inside an airplane cabin, that can quickly become a serious safety issue. That's why aviation authorities introduced a strict rule. Spare lithium batteries must always stay in carry-on luggage. They are not allowed in checked baggage. The reason is simple. If a battery catches fire in the cabin, the crew can respond immediately, but if it happens inside the cargo hold, the situation becomes far more difficult to control. So in 2026, airports are paying closer attention to power banks and spare batteries than ever before. Part 5. Surprising items that get confiscated. You might assume only weapons trigger problems at airport security, but many everyday items surprise travelers. Small pocket knives, multi-tools, large scissors, metal tools, even certain sporting equipment. All of these can raise concerns during security screening, and every year, airports collect mountains of confiscated items. Some are stored, some are destroyed, and some are auctioned off in government surplus sales. But perhaps the most surprising confiscated item? Snow globes. Yes, those glass souvenirs filled with liquid and floating snow. Security scanners detect the liquid inside them, and because that liquid cannot be measured easily, many snow globes end up in the confiscation bins, which is why experienced travelers usually pack souvenirs like that in checked baggage instead of carry-ons. Part 6. Global aviation rules. Although security rules vary slightly between countries, most follow similar international standards. In Europe, aviation safety regulations are guided by the European Union Aviation Safety Agency, and on a global level, standards are coordinated by the International Civil Aviation Organization. These organizations work to ensure that airports across the world follow consistent safety practices. But small differences still exist between regions, which means international travelers should always check the rules of both, their departure airport and their destination airport. Part 7. The packing strategy. Frequent travelers use. Frequent travelers rarely experience problems at airport security, not because they're lucky, but because they pack their carry-on bags strategically. Their liquids are already organized in clear bags. Electronics are placed where they can be removed quickly. Prohibited items are never packed in carry-ons. And most importantly, they leave a little extra space in their bags, because crowded luggage makes security checks slower and more complicated. A well-organized carry-on bag can pass through airport security in seconds. But a messy bag? That's when extra screening often begins. Part 8. The future of airport security. Airport technology is evolving quickly. New scanners using advanced imaging can analyze luggage more accurately than ever before. Some airports already allow passengers to keep electronics and liquids inside their bags, but these systems are expensive, and many airports are still transitioning to them. So, until these scanners become universal, travelers should always assume the traditional rules still apply. Because when it comes to airport security, it's always better to be prepared rather than surprised. Air travel is one of the safest forms of transportation in the world, but that safety depends on strict rules, rules that millions of travelers must follow every day. And sometimes, one small mistake in a carry-on bag can turn a smooth journey into a stressful airport experience. So the next time you pack for a flight, take a moment to check what's inside your carry-on, because in 2026, the difference between boarding your plane and missing your flight might be something as small as a bottle of liquid, or a battery in the wrong place, or a souvenir you didn't think twice about. And airport security, they will always notice. Now I'm curious, what's the strangest thing you've ever seen stopped at airport security? Tell us in the comments, because some airport stories are truly unbelievable,